Hello. Welcome to, once again, it's the Gould Show. Andrew isn't here, and I'll tell you why. He's coming, don't worry. But because of our new slot here at 3, he comes straight off the back of the seminar. So he's probably running here now, will be here in the next 4 minutes. But this is ludicrous, because now I have to do the controls again. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm not here alone. We have a very special guest, and I'm very excited to welcome to the show.
Hi, it's Michael.
Michael HADDAD! It's Michael! Michael
From
is
the last
back.
season.
My goodness, this is huge.
Back when the show was featuring Michael HADDAD, I used to be a named character on the show.
It was the Gould and Cohen show with Michael HADDAD. I hope the mics are working and everything, because I'm hearing myself, but I don't know if this is even going out.
Look for feedback.
I've pressed it. So can you guys message in if you can actually hear us? Because I've pressed a couple of buttons, I've messed around with the colourful ones, and I think it's working. But yeah, Michael, it's just me and you, man. Back to the old days. This is unbelievable.
Bizarre,
this is absolutely,
being back in this room.
It's kind of like a season. Oh, by the way, we haven't planned the show at all. We've all been incredibly busy, so we're going to free flow it though. We're going to everyone loves an a cappella show. Yeah, you've been. What have you been doing?
So the last time I was here, obviously, was in July when I graduated.
Oh, you left. The last time you were here, you literally left the show.
Ran out of the show.
So if you listen back on the podcast, please like and subscribe. The season finale of season 3 was Michael's final hour here at Warwick Uni. And now the first day you come back, you're straight back on the show. It's like if there's like an ongoing sitcom, a comedy series where they bring back an old character, you know, because
all the whoops and cheers when I walk into the room.
He left the show because he thought it was too big for it, but now his career's failed, so he's come back. That's
pretty much like how it's gone for me, in a sort of weird way. That's like kind of parallels that. So graduated.
I think you have too much gain. I don't know what that means. What? I don't know. I'm messing around. Carry on.
So I had a pretty nice summer traveling. Me and you went to Berlin.
Yeah, that was a killer.
That was fun. And then came back to sunny old Ireland and just sort of discovered that when people were trying to warn me about doing an English degree when I was 18, they were right, because there's just no jobs.
Yeah, like I don't want to scare anyone, but Michael's stories are pretty harrowing. Go on, Michael.
Harrowing is maybe the wrong. No, look, I completely stand by doing a creative English liberal arts degree. I think everyone should do them, and I hate STEM, and I think it's useless to society, and I think science will do nothing for us, and English is the way forward. But having said that,
it's good to have you back here, Michael.
No, I'm only joking. I'm only joking. But having said that, like, I live on a border town between Belfast and Dublin.
Every time.
Called Newry. And there's just nothing. Like, there's no jobs at all. I've started working in a call centre.
Oh, yeah.
And recently left working in a call centre.
How was that, working in the call centre?
Like, for my first taste of like proper 9 to 5 or 11 to 8 or whatever the shifts were, work, I want to be hyperbolic and say it was the grimmest, most bleak experience of my life. I'll stick with that. Some of the people you met there were lovely. I have to put that as a disclaimer, but like, I think just the sort of work, like, hello, you're through to Michael at the energy company.
Oh my goodness.
The unnamed energy company.
Oh my goodness.
Can you start by telling me your name and account number, please? Okay,
this is
great.
what happened from the heights.
And just for the security of your account, can you give me your date of birth? Fantastic. And what can I do for you today? Oh, are you able to provide meter readings? No, that's no problem. Well, I'll just put in your postcode now and just find out what your meter's saying, okay? Okay, no problem. I'm just going to pop you on hold for 2 minutes there. I'd pop them on hold and then just probably do nothing for a couple of minutes. Like, a lot of the time I put them on hold, wouldn't need to. Or I just go to the toilet, or you just break up the day with fun little games. And then
well, like going to the toilet. Is that that's fun? That's the fun little games.
And you sort of have like people in the room sort of like telling you to get back on the phones, like, can you get back on the phones there, please? Like,
because your accent has already got more Northern Irish since you've been back. And if you remember from the iconic anecdotes of season 2 and season 3, where Michael would tell us tales of the mythical land that is Northern Ireland, with people like Cal McGrath and Cal McCartan, and but now. One of my new favourites, and it's like he makes up these names. Dominic McSly.
Dominic is lovely. He is lovely, but we met each other at the interview for this place, and we were given we had to give our details into the opening form.
Yeah.
And he goes, I just don't know my phone number. And that's sort of a strange thing, I think, for like someone young. And they were like, oh, why not? He's like, I only bought a phone for the interview for this place. I hate phones. They infuriate me. And I was like, you're working in a call center? like what is the logic? And then it just sort of, from there on, just sort of got weirder and weirder. He professed to liking, what was it again? Fish fingers and custard as a meal. Now I think that is from Doctor Who.
Yeah.
But he earnestly,
that's quite a fedora meal, if you know what I mean.
He earnestly enjoys it. He said it was lovely. He said he'd have it all the time. And then he said, and then his own sort of version of that there was like ketchup and cornflakes. And his logic behind it was that ketchup makes the cornflakes soggy.
That is horrible. That is horrible. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear
milk.
Like, I don't want to hear that.
It was just, yeah. And it's just, I think since graduating, like I've come from sort of like, you know, lofty seminars talking about metaphysical ideas.
You love it.
And that's sort of what I'm into.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, I'll go to Lebanon for the year. I went and then
we talked about that. Did you hear us talk about that on the show?
I think so.
We did a whole bit on your stint in Lebanon. Because remember when we talked about you going to Lebanon here on the show?
Yeah.
And then I said, like, dude, you're going to Lebanon for a year. Are you sure you want to do that? And you're like, what's wrong with Lebanon?
No, I went out to see my family out there and it was really good fun. But I wasn't going to live there for the year simply because
he'd planned to live there for a year.
I'd planned to live there for a year.
It wasn't that he thought I'll spend a bit of time there. He said, no, you said you're going to spend a bit of time in Lebanon and then you're going to become a TV star. What was that whole thing?
So my dad had my dad had 2 jobs lined up for me to like potentially look into.
What? Dad had a dad job. Sorry, I was working with puns there.
Yo,
he's back.
Hello.
How you doing?
Andrew's in the building. Give me a hug.
God, this is getting really personal here on the radio. I've been enjoying myself. Yeah, this is the first time Andrew and Michael have met since.
Since when? What, summer?
Yeah, summer. Yeah.
What's he been banging on about Lebanon?
Yeah, just still go. Right, yeah, take over, mate. I don't know if the game's good enough or anything. Do you want to do?
That sounds alright. I was listening.
Do you want to do? An opening show pun for just anything? We need to do an opening show pun because it's the beginning of the show. So just pick a song and we'll make a show pun. We'll talk amongst ourselves.
Wonderful.
But yeah, as we were saying, Michael, getting back to...
Yeah, so it's going to be a TV star in Lebanon. The idea was that like Dad has friends who work in sort of media out there. And he's like, they're looking for someone who like, you know, speaks English fluently to like present like an English language TV show. And I was like, initially I was like, no way. Like... And then I was like, you know what? That could be an adventure. But then when I went out there, I was like, I've got my friends back at home. I've got my wonderful girlfriend back at home. I have to plug that.
Plug. Can we all plug our girlfriends, please?
And I just think it wasn't the right decision.
That up.
That's a strike. So yeah, now I'm back.
But you nearly did you have something with Virgin Radio Lebanon potentially, which we've talked about on the show as one of the worst sites in the entire world.
That was also like Dad has like
post,
like
was
friends
terrible.
there. I think my dad knows every single person in Lebanon, like so pretty much.
Just Mr. Lebanon.
Yeah. So he like that was sort of floating around as well. So much stuff floating around.
Yeah.
My dad's now started writing poetry.
Yeah.
Like every day on Facebook.
Oh,
which
no, but you told me that they love it out there.
Oh my God. My dad has like fans. Like he'll post a poem and it'll be, he'll post a picture with it and he always writes in French and 100, 200, 300 likes. He's getting comments like, you're my savior. You are the greatest person alive. I'm not, no like? Hyperbolic.
What's it?
From an English student's point of, from a son's point of view, it's great. And so anyway, but yeah, so that's exciting. So like, obviously I've got the creative lofty ideas. My dad's never done that. And now he's even talking about a publishing deal out in Lebanon.
Really?
Could you imagine? And I'm sitting here working in a call center.
Oh yeah, let's talk more about Northern Ireland and the life back in Newry. Well,
I got started on my birthday.
Oh really?
Yeah, I haven't told you the story.
I don't think you have.
So my birthday was 21st of October.
Yeah.
And I went out with some friends. It was only 4 of us. We were just going to do something really chill.
Just
I was
the
like,
lads.
just the boys for a few bevies.
Yeah.
Newry itself, like the sort of music you're expecting to hear out in Newry is like 2010 Tayo Cruz. Like, like that is honestly like where Newry's up to.
Like
there's-
Dynamite.
Yeah, that's on repeat.
Wearing all my favorite brands.
And then,
tunes.
Quintessential Guetta, and everyone on the dance floor is giving it Dixie.
Quintessential-
Everyone is giving it Dixie.
Sorry, that's translation, please.
Oh, just going at it,
Yeah.
And fair play, like, it's not my sort of thing.
Yeah.
But so yeah, on my birthday, some lad comes up to me, and I recognise him. And I was like, oh, we'd done a drama thing like
What was
5
his
years
name?
ago.
I want to know the names. I love
Cal
the name.
Markey,
Okay, that's all right one. It's
And,
not quite Dominic McShly.
and he so he came up to me on my birthday. I hadn't seen him in about 5 years.
Yeah.
And he was like, he started off pretty friendly to me, and then he started getting aggressive. And I realised it was because I had made a joke about him 5 years ago. Whereas when he used to speak, I would like do a beat over what he would say because he's an aspiring rapper.
Oh,
So-
nice. Absolute savage.
I hadn't seen him in 5 years, and he was
Absolute savage.
harbouring this grudge towards
That's five.
me.
That's half a decade.
I
He's
know.
been holding this.
And it just sort of came out, and we rap battled.
Who won?
No, we didn't. Could you imagine like a
Because
spontaneous
I was
rap
listening
battle?
back to a couple of your raps. Do you have any? You don't have any?
No. My creative well has dried up.
Because I'd love to.
But you've
I'd
been
love
on my
to
back. You've been on my back to be creative,
Yeah.
and I'm going to now. I've left
Yeah.
this thing that I was in, and I've got this.
Yeah, because it was mad.
lust for
You're
life
a real
back.
rut there for a minute.
Yeah, like graduating is bleak.
Yeah.
Never do it.
Wait, tell me that hilarious thing you were telling me, because just the postgrad life, as much as it is terrifying hearing all these horrible stories, and I don't want to scare any listeners, there is something intrinsically hilarious about the despair of it all. The recruitment, amazing.
So I want to move to London as quick as I can, simply because most of my friends are there, my girlfriend lives there, and I want to study there eventually. So
Michael has a girlfriend, so everyone knows.
I've signed up for different recruitment firms, and their job is to get you jobs with other recruitment firms.
Yeah.
So they're a recruitment firm for other recruitment firms who in turn are recruiting for recruitment firms. It's just this sort of never-ending vortex and spiral of recruitment that you just keep going. I don't know where they make any money, because you're just getting moved around recruitment. Like, it doesn't make sense. It's just the movement of people.
So they're trying to recruit you
to a recruitment job, which is on your job on there is to recruit other people to a different recruitment company.
So it's just this never-ending cycle of recruitment.
Yeah, it's incredible, but it's also it's just I'm wrapping my head around it now, because it may be what I'm doing for the next 6 months, which should be fun.
Yeah. No, I'm really sorry I'm going a bit quiet. I've been thinking of the show pun. Hey, yo, Andrew.
Yo, what up? Yo.
That was a good segue.
Hey, do you wanna take my netball gloves and have a pop at playing some of that?
What?
Did he mess it up?
Netball gloves? Yeah, I do. Was that the introduction to the pod?
Yeah.
As in, it's your thing.
Yeah, I just.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Say it again. Explain the
Do you
pun.
do netball?
No. The song's called "It's Your Thing." What was the?
I was meant to be setting you up like.
Yeah.
You'd be like, no, it's your thing.
No, but you didn't say. You didn't say no.
Yeah, because I was talking about like something.
Say you do
it's
the
like,
do it
no,
again.
It's funny
Do it
because it's a
again.
niche sport that I
Do it
obviously
again.
don't play.
See, I've
And
not
then
listened to the show
I'm also helping
in-
you.
Do
I'm
it
like,
again.
It's
Do
weird
the setup
'cause
again.
Well, I don't want to do the same.
No,
one.
'cause I'm trying to get my head around it.
I have
Okay,
listened to the first
uh,
episode of the show because I need to be
all
talking
right,
about me. But now I realise why I've not listened to it since.
No, do it again. As you said it, because I want to
No,
deconstruct this.
okay. How I said it was wrong.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. How
no,
I said it was wrong.
Right, we'll go again.
How about? Hey. Oh no, I got it. Hey. Do you wanna come out on the town and bang some hot babes?
That still doesn't really work. It's your. Who replies with "It's your thing" to
No,
that?
you just go like no. You can add. You can mess. We've messed around with the form. You could say no. It's your thing. Don't make it do a no.
Andrew, do you want to study psychoanalysis?
Nah, that's your thing.
It's Raw, 12:51 a.m.
I know.
Did you know that?
Yeah, it is.
It
And
bloody is.
Here we are, Michael back.
Hello.
What a time! What a time to be alive.
The trio are back. This is unbelievable.
It is.
This
It's unprecedented.
This is like season 2 stuff. Everyone's going to be like completely confused. They're like, "What is this? 2015?"
It's going to be even harder when I leave as well.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Ryan Gosling has endorsed the show.
Oh, just endorsed it. Is
Yep.
that what he said?
Yeah, and Karl Marx is unhappy that Michael has continued perpetuating the capitalist system by selling.
Yeah. No, that is
By
something.
selling my labour.
Yeah.
essentially.
Because you are like, you've even said this yourself, you are like kind of like a character in like a Kafka play almost, because you're just sort of stuck in this twisting machine that just is never ending.
It's just this machine that's just bleeding to death,
Yeah.
and I'm stuck in the belly of it.
Yeah.
Like, it's you're
like the bacteria within it.
and just there's nothing more bleak than like going on a job search website and just seeing like nothing, but then there's so much stuff there, but there's also nothing.
I know what you mean.
And I don't know. It's just been an overwhelming time.
Yeah, man, it's good to have you back.
It is.
Back home where you belong,
In the studio.
in the studio.
With the
Should
boys.
find a
With
job
the-
in Lem and just like live in here.
Dude,
Yeah.
sleep on
Side.
our sofa. That's what Alfie does anyway. Alfie literally lives at our house now. He doesn't even live with us, but like.
Then he can live at his house and I'll live where he lives. That sounds good to me.
Yeah, maybe Alfie lives where he actually lives. Yeah. Well,
Well, we're gonna. You have explained that we haven't got much of a plan for this show.
we have no plan.
given our busy weeks.
We've had a mad week. I've been.
What did you do?
Well, I've been in essay hell. Oh my goodness. So we did a whole of reading we had to spend doing Yam stuff, which will be coming soon, guys.
Coming
Don't
soon.
worry.
Very soon.
Spoiler. And so I had this 3,000 word essay due for today, which I spent a week on, and I can't work productively at all. So pretty much every night for the last 6 days I've been working on this essay. I stayed up till 5 in the morning today, so I'm completely delirious to hand in the essay at 10. But the problem is, I've managed to do this and I've given everything. I've gone insane. I've gone through all those emotional things. I'm only halfway through because I've got another 3,000 word essay due for next Thursday that I haven't even done the reading for. I'm in the middle. This is my day off.
yeah.
And I'm doing this with you guys.
Yeah,
this
it's
is
not
what I'm
acceptable.
doing for fun.
I'd love
now.
it to be like another 3,000 word essay after that. I want to see just what your body can be stretched
Yeah,
to.
it's- I-
'Cause,
I-
like,
it's the
it just
elastic
sort of
limit.
reminds me because I saw somebody online imagining what it would be like if 24 was just 7 consecutive days, like each of the seasons, and he just, the show
Yeah.
24, and he just slowly gets more mad, foiling like 7
you mean
consecutive
all-
terror
all-
attempts.
what?
Yeah, it's just a week
Every-
every season, and then like at the end, obviously he just like sort of thinks he's fighting a dragon and like and punches it and explodes into flames, but in reality he's just gone delirious, punches like the side of a van and his heart explodes or something.
And then this
I just
season-
want to sort of see the sort of essay Warwick
Yeah.
version of that,
Yeah.
because you are sort of like Jack Bauer.
I have so
in
much
very
like
many
Jack
ways.
Bauer. Yeah.
You are going to actually lose the plot. I think.
Because I've already done pretty badly so far.
I've lost the plot a bit.
Yeah, you even lost the plot. And
Wow.
You're unshakable.
You're
Yeah,
the
I
rock.
know.
You're the
Well, it
rock
was-
on which I build my
Well,
church.
I've made it, but it
No,
was.
of course. Wouldn't expect any less.
It was the week of Yam did not help us in regards of
the
academia,
Yatsy McGee Audiovisual Farming Collective.
if you will, and we are.
We definitely are.
Yeah. So what? 3,000 words this week.
Yeah. Haven't done
pretty
any
strenuous.
reading. Haven't done any. Oh, you done 3,000 words.
Yeah. I've had 3,000. So what? Did you have 3,000 as
Yeah,
well?
but those were formative.
Oh no, it's
mate.
4,000.
Ooh,
Yeah, it was.
story topper.
Yeah.
Yeah, but those are formative.
formative.
Those are
Oh,
formative.
those are formative. So yours
Mine
is
is
summative.
summative. I got
All of
two-
yours summative.
Yeah, 6,000 words are summative.
Yeah.
Suck it up.
Yeah, it's true. After hearing your cool set of stories, I'm like, all right, fine.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, what were we talking about then?
Well, okay. I know everyone's been talking about it. I know we're pretty late to the topic, but should we have a little
Yes,
chat
I
about-
know. Pokemon Moon's coming out next week.
There we are.
I know, we couldn't hold it any longer. Who else is just so excited? No, I swear to God, like,
what
I
is-
pre-ordered the game.
What is it?
Pokemon
What
Sun
is
and
it?
Moon. It's the next generation. It's Generation 7.
7.
We've had red
Generation
and blue,
7.
then yellow, gold and silver. Then we've had ruby and sapphire, diamond and pearl, obviously black and white, X and Y, and now sun and moon. Why are you not as hyped as me? The thing I do when I'm at home to sort of deal with stress is if you know, there's a sort of the thing called VBA emulator where you can download a GBA emulator on your onto your computer, and you can play old Game Boy Advance games. So I download sort of Pokemon Ruby or something.
Yeah.
But the beautiest thing about it is, if you press the space bar, it speeds the game up to like 1,000%. So I just sort of sit there, sort of chin in my neck, sort of bent over in bed, playing a 40-hour game in about 5 hours. I'm just sort of there with like, thing of chocolate beside me, obviously, like chocolate, like a bowl of crisps, and I'm sitting there blasting through levels, leveling up on my team. I'm making those split-second decisions that usually you'd have hours to make, but now I'm just like, who's going to be in my team? And they always get to the end of the game and then just don't finish it. And that's my coping mechanism.
You don't finish it?
No, because I don't know.
You can't deal with the
loss of my team. I just leave them there sitting perennially. I've got like a million save files, so I'm just sort of sitting there, and I do that maybe twice a year now. I don't know. I've just started getting into the rhythm of it.
So you speed it up and so just go through the whole game.
Yeah, so it's like a 40-hour game. You just sort of sit there and you just blitz it. It's amazingly therapeutic.
How can you do that? Like, surely it's a 40-hour game for a reason.
Yeah, but then you press the speed button. It's more because like the load times, or not load times, but like just the time stuff takes to move. Okay. So I just sit there manically, sort of like, and I sort of make a night of it. Like I treat myself. I'm like, okay, tonight's gonna be one of those nights. You know what I mean? I'm just like, I'm in my room. I've probably not showered that day, just to sort of add to the atmosphere. I'm sort of listening to whatever music, and then I'm just like blitzing through it. And it's a phenomenally therapeutic device. So now Sun and Moon are coming out, the new Shiny games, and I'm super pumped. I used to be like ranked in Europe for Pokemon battling. I'm huge.
I think we've discussed this.
Ranked.
Yeah.
That's
something in Europe.
This is definitely something I do. Though I've been complaining about how hard I've found it to work, I do have a lot more time now that Michael's not here, because I don't have him like knocking on my window saying, "Do you want to watch anime with me?"
That was like literally one time. And we watched some pretty sweet fights.
They were pretty sweet.
They were pretty sweet. Okay.
Anime and rap battles. That would be like a 5-hour kind of, and both of us would just be completely just melting into
absolute
ourselves.
slugs. Yeah, it was great. There's mucus everywhere. I loved that.
Dominic McSlugs. But no, what I was actually trying to talk about before you interrupt me was, I guess people are going to be waiting for our views, Andrew, not so much Michael,
no,
on good old The Donald. So this is a good thing about radio is that
this wasn't even planned. This is improvised.
This is the whole show's improv.
The show is. Yeah. It's great, isn't it?
I feel like just Miles Davis. So you win some, you lose some.
And that's what we've got to say on that. Thank you. If you're not laughing, you're learning.
Yeah, there you go. That's pretty much all of the idioms we can get for the
basic platitudes.
Yeah, I feel like we should say something. I mean, I don't know. Do we ever? I think we can solve all of the hate if we just if we nail this next 10 minutes on Trump.
Yeah,
we could solve the whole divisions.
And with the launch of Yan coming up, that's gonna really bring people together.
It's like Hollywood in the Depression. Yam. Our creative collective is here just to distract everyone from their own troubles. And that's what this show's here for as well.
Right, that was a big sentence.
Yeah.
That was a big claim.
Yeah.
As like a member of the show and Yam.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
No, but seriously, it is a very scary time we're moving into. Mm-hmm. There's a sort of sordid and sick part of me that was beforehand was like, I really want him to win, in the sense that okay, that's obviously wrong. I'd never really wanted him, but like I'd love to like have like an alternate universe that I'd like to see what would happen. And now we've got that.
No.
So like
it's gonna be interesting.
Be honest with me, when I was watching the votes go in, like I couldn't help but feel weirdly excited when Trump was winning,
because
it was bad, but I felt
that feeling. I think like obviously for people who I'm detached from it, and as well as that I'm like a white straight man, so a lot of the stuff that like the policies and the sort of culture around Trump coming in is never going to affect me, and then even if I was living in America it would affect me only indirectly. So from my vantage point, I guess like I have a very sort of like detached position where I can be like, oh, it's exciting, and I think I have to acknowledge that.
One of the controls the Truman Show. Looking in
the same sense though, if Hillary had got in, I think it would have been 8 more years of the same.
Yeah.
Whereas
4, it doesn't have to necessarily. Yeah.
Well, okay, but like now that like she lost, and in sort of in a almost hilarious manner, like there was no way she would. Like looking back, like she's just the worst candidate ever. Like her foreign policy was getting Katy Perry on stage. Like it just didn't make. It was just rubbish.
She won the popular vote. More people wanted her in than they
and
wanted
she also
Trump.
won the working class vote in the lowest wage bracket.
Really?
She won that. It was she won it in all ethnic groups apart from white.
Yeah.
But whites have always voted for Republicans in the last X amount of elections. Honestly, so like, and the thing is, Trump got less votes than McCain and Romney.
Really?
Trump got less votes than them, and they lost by landslides
hold
to
on,
Obama.
Hold on, that's because of low voter turnout, though.
Yeah, but in
but
the same
it's still
sense
relevant.
in the sense that like the
People aren't
previous
showing out
elections,
to vote for her.
Yeah.
but it's not that Trump won; it's that Hillary lost the Democrats like over like 8 or up to 10 million votes. Like that is impressive in itself.
Well, I mean, I do think it was the wrong candidate because just the people above all else wanted change, I feel.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's...
How much do you think it was to do with the scandal surrounding her as opposed to like the lack of
I
change
think
or her
I think that
policies?
wobble at the end definitely hurt. I don't know if it completely sunk her. It's impossible to say. Almost like I think the sort of stuff with the emails like was. I think it definitely hurt the campaign in the last sort of critical moments. But the thing is, like places like she didn't campaign once in Wisconsin. Wisconsin has voted Democrat for the last 30
Even
odd
I've
years.
campaigned in Wisconsin. I'm not even running for president.
It's true. I'm trying to stop it every year.
I'm like, look,
I'm off to Wisconsin. You're not running.
on the campaign
I
trail.
don't care. They need me.
But they voted Democrat for the last 30 odd years, and they
Yeah.
changed. Like there was a sort of snide, insipid like I'm gonna inherit this job from the DNC as well, and the way they played things. So like only with all that being said, the only excitement that comes from it is like it's lit a fire under the belly of a lot of Americans who are now saying like, okay, we're ready for maybe a socialist to come in.
Yeah, but
we're ready for
also-
Bernie Mark II.
Also, it's time for the left in America to realise that you've been completely disrespecting and neglecting the concerns.
So I wouldn't call that the left. I'd call that the liberal.
The liberal
elite.
Fine. Yeah, in America, that's...
yeah, and like I don't think that's fair to call them the left. I think maybe relative to what American is set up is potentially, but I don't think it's fair to
Because
say
you can
like
understand
they don't
where
really
Trump
embody
vote is
a lot
coming
of.
from. The disenfranchised.
See Trump's talking about the election being rigged. He's spot on. He's spot on with that stuff. Like there is like a sort of like there is
But he
a
won.
feeling. I know he's not. He wasn't actually talking about like the machines being rigged. He was saying that like the system is sort of set up
Yeah.
to sort of congratulate these sort of liberal, self-congratulating elites. Like Hillary had a party on in the Hamptons, right? Do you know how much tickets were to it? It was a meet and greet fundraiser for her, sort of meet the public.
Yeah.
Tickets were $2,700.
2,000.
$2,700, and it was like all like it was like the most. It was like pretty much like a Comic Sans like terrible leaflet. I was like, tickets $2,700. I was like, what? How? Like, in what reality is this decent politics?
Yeah.
So I guess like now we are living in a time where like hate crimes are going to rise there, which is awful.
Yeah.
There's going to be a weird culture happening.
Oh, Wagwan, what's going on?
There he is. Alfie has arrived.
Alfie's entered the building.
on the studio.
We got the whole team here.
Shake the room.
There you go.
There we go.
How come you're late, mate?
Yeah, what's going on, mate?
What's up?
Where you been?
He's got a
Going
nice
poncho
jacket on.
shopping.
He's got a
Yeah.
Going for the poncho today.
Yeah, I'm not going to let Trump build that wall.
Check it out on the webcam.
I'm going to culturally jump
Very
over
relevant.
it.
Very relevant.
Did you hear our conversation?
And yeah, I heard it in my heart.
Yeah.
There we go. I love when you question Alfie and his face panics as he tries to think of the weirdest thing he can say.
The only word deflection.
Little song break while we all get acquainted with each other again.
Yeah, let's do that. I want to do the game.
And
I want to
on to
do the
Alfie.
game. I want to do the game.
On to Alfie.
Oh no, we're live.
I'm leading the conversation. So,
Yeah.
what kind of conversation should normally be led in the country at the moment, do you think, guys?
No.
What needs to be said?
No.
No, try again.
No,
One more time.
One more
that's
time.
not a type of conversation to lead. You're
What?
the one that's in the wrong now. What's your favourite laptop screensaver?
I'm a fan of the classic Windows one with the like green.
Rolling hill.
Yeah.
That's
Ooh.
it's just nostalgic in a way.
Have you ever seen like the one where it's an actual real photo?
What? Yeah.
Where
okay.
it's a real photo with leaves and stuff, the actual real things.
Yeah,
I
that's
like
what I've
that.
seen. Although some of the
Um,
Mac ones are really good.
Oh no! If you want to go proper nostalgia, that screensaver of going through space.
Oh.
You know when it's just the stars.
Or the old DVD screensaver where it would never hit the corner.
Oh yeah. Oh man.
And you'd be watching it for a while.
Yeah.
And you'd forget to watch a movie.
my current laptop screensaver is the word of the day. So you get a new word every day.
What's your
What's
word
today's
today?
word?
I'm going to have to wait for my laptop to go on screensaver.
Yeah.
So we'll
We
pause
should
for a
have
moment.
Wait.
done the game.
Have I got?
No.
Actually, my background on my laptop is actually quite sad.
What is it?
I'm not gonna say.
You have to say it.
Do you ever watch Mr. Robot?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no.
So it's the same background that he has on his computer.
No, this is amazing. This is amazing. Michael watch Mr.
I
Robot.
watch
He's like,
anything-
it's the best show because whenever Michael likes something slightly, it's always the best thing ever. Every
And
album,
then I get really into it.
The
And
amount of
then I
time you said like
and then I
Mick
change my
Jenkins'
life.
album was the greatest album of the year.
That's not true.
Then Danny Brown's new album was the best album
That
of the year.
is maybe one of the.
No.
Yeah, no, I think so.
Okay.
Also,
That one's
Tribe
still
Called
quite
Quest.
fresh. So
But I
he
love,
hasn't-
I love Michael.
And I've seen Danny Brown this week.
Michael
so.
posting in Warwick Hit Pots. Guys, I don't want to speak too soon, but I think Mick Jenkins has made the greatest hip hop album of 2016.
I think I'm right.
But then with the
I'm
Mr.
not.
Robot
No.
thing, what was funny is that you watched it, he got so gassed about it, and then I didn't really know what it was about, and I started watching it and realized it's about coding, and I'd realised that like Michael started wearing hoodies, you know.
Don't
he
exaggerate.
started doing coding classes.
I went to one coding class and I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna get this.
He just thought he'd just start hacking into the mainframe.
I just thought I'd be instantly elite hacker. You know what I mean?
They literally just show
Taking
you like,
down the
yeah, you
banks.
just press Control Alt Delete, and then that normally sorts of things
But
out.
the first class was like, moving your name around on a web page. So I was like, oh, great.
Can you do that?
I can't remember.
already splattering your own ego onto the internet.
Exactly.
Michael Haddad's messaging.
Have I? Michael,
Apparently.
how is Haddad spelt? Is it
Correctly.
Oh god.
Ooh.
What? I made the best hip hop album in 2016.
Fair.
Interesting.
Fair enough.
I'm still sitting on it. It will be released before the end of the year.
You're like Frank Ocean. Everyone's just like, when to
Yeah.
I
just
know.
release the album,
No.
Michael.
I need to just do some finishing touches.
Yeah.
Just need to write the songs
Shoot
produce
you
the
chopping
album.
and
wood.
record them.
Yeah.
But that's it. Like it's all
Just
there.
the polish.
It's just ready. It's like the rest of my creative output. It is there. It's just it doesn't
It's
sort
just
of
not- it's
materially
just not,
exist
like,
in any way.
there.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's with us in spirit.
Yeah.
In future, could you just say that on the mic instead of messaging?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
this is just a bit confusing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll move on from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know the
What?
saddest thing of this year? Like 11,000 people voted for Harambe in the elections.
Yeah.
That's true.
11,000.
11,000 Americans woke up in the morning, got dressed, left their house, queued up for
Put their
about
fedoras on.
queued up for about 2 hours and voted for a dead gorilla
not enough.
in the elections. 11,000.
That's
more
not
people-
that many if
that's-
you think about it.
That's the entirety of Warwick.
11,000 is a
Right.
hell of a lot.
There's a world outside Warwick, Michael.
I know. I've been there. I have to come back.
What should be made great again, and what shouldn't be made great again? What has actually been great, but it's not great at the moment? and should
Yeah,
be
what
made great
needs to be
again?
made?
Carbon levels.
Make them great
Yeah,
again.
yeah. Did they used to be great?
They used to be better than now.
They used to be dank.
Yeah.
Ecology.
Nice.
No.
Recently, Tesco have come out with a new variation on their chicken and bacon sandwich,
Yeah, yeah,
which
yeah.
is good.
But it's not
So that
great.
no, it is. No, it's great.
Oh,
It
it's
doesn't-
been made
that's
great.
Oh. Recently.
So it doesn't
Must have
need. So it doesn't need to be.
No, but I thought we'd just say
Yeah,
things
yeah.
that have been
Yeah,
made
yeah,
great.
I have
or-
been made great. Yeah.
Oh, that needs to be great again.
We need to congratulate Raw on their win at the Student Radio Awards. They got one. They got
Best sports show.
Tim Arstall. Congratulations.
Who's on?
Well done,
who's
Tim.
on Raw 6 today?
Oh,
Yep.
Make
Get
Tim
it.
great again.
make Tim great again. Yeah, our esteemed colleague.
Yeah. Very
What?
nice.
What? Look, you can speak into the. Introduce it yourself.
Let's go into a song break, Andrew.
There you go. Essentially, all of our messages now are just from either historical figures. Karl
Yeah.
Marx is pretty much every other message.
Yeah,
Or
he doesn't have a lot to do at the minute.
they're all just so character driven.
Each show is an avant-garde theatre piece.
Has anything been sent in from that new like University of Warwick, like Soviet Society?
Well, they haven't named themselves. If they have,
Because those guys are really funny.
Nice.
That's
Get them
sarcasm.
in.
Oh yeah, like it.
Wait, what are they again?
I think they're a bunch of like Tory students who like got really annoyed that sort of certain students have got elected positions, like people who have more left wing ideas, and they've just like tried to make out that like there's some sort of benevolent dear leader
Yeah.
sort of North Korea thing happening in Warwick, and
Yeah.
that like 98% of students don't get listened to. That's their big gap.
Yeah, I saw
So
that
just,
one.
but the thing is, their logo's sick.
Yeah, no, it's really
the
cool.
cone
Like,
with the hammer and sickle over it's class. That gets my blood going.
But
Let's get them in.
No, have you been staying up with the Warwick News about the whole woofie coming out to try and stop that right wing guy running?
Oh yeah.
What do you think about all that?
Well, they didn't try and stop him running. They just convinced people not to vote for him.
Yeah, I guess.
It wasn't to try and stop him running.
Yeah, no, and I saw the stuff that guy posted was just horrendous.
Yeah.
But yeah, and the whole thing about it was that I understand what people were saying about like they shouldn't really get involved in that stuff, but he wasn't selling himself for what he was.
Like,
If you
you run for a women's officer to try and make fun of trans people, which he was supposed to do in first year, then it's not really, there's not really any sort of politics that you're gonna come out with that are gonna be at all good for people
it's true.
in general.
It's true. So yeah, I feel we haven't properly delved into the world in Ireland. We haven't really given it enough time.
I've just been working for the last 6 weeks, so my shifts have been enough to just I've been working 11 to 8. But I'm also very conscious of the fact that I'm sort of I've never really had a proper job before.
Yeah.
So I'm coming out of uni, I didn't really work through uni, and now it's my first taste of work, and now I'm just this big whiny baby about it as well. When people this is their reality,
Yeah.
but at the same time, one of the funniest moments I remember was I was on the phone and. Sometimes you have to put someone on hold and call through to a different department.
Yeah.
And this guy, he was a little bit obviously like everyone who's in a call center wants to get on with their day.
Yeah.
I had him on hold, and you're supposed to conference the other person to the call and then transfer them through. Just talk nicely to them. And obviously I'm always like, okay, hi, this is Michael again. Thank you for holding.
I like your voice.
Yeah.
when you're on the phone.
Yeah, and this moment, it might not translate as super funny here, but at the time I was sort of I'd been working 5 days and 8 hours, and it was my last call of the day.
Yeah.
And I thought it was I was crying at the end of it because I laughed on the phone to the man because I was because I didn't realize what his name was. I had been on hold for 20 minutes, so I forgot what he was called. So I got off hold, was reading out the sentence, and then looked at his name, so it took me by surprise, and I was like, hello, thank you for holding, Mr. Holding. And I mean, so that I just burst out laughing, and he was like, what's funny? And I was like, yeah, my colleague's on the line, and they'll be able to continue with your call. And I just noped out of there. You can also, we discovered that if you press a certain button on the keyboard, it just sort of puts you to the back of the waiting queue for calls coming in, so you can just sort of hide. So
But then if everyone's doing it, then it's just
it's a nightmare.
Everyone's just running away from the calls. That's
But
mad.
nah,
what's the kind of what are the worst bits about the call center job?
it's more when someone's you can't really help them. I don't really want to talk about what I'm doing or anything there, but
Why not?
it's just because signed non-disclosures. But yeah, I just
You'll hear it when the new album
It's
comes
just when
out.
you genuinely can't help someone, and it's not your fault or theirs.
Yeah.
It's just sort of the situation. That's a bit grim. And then when you get a couple of those in a row.
Do you feel
Sometimes you get Sometimes you get really super rewarding calls as well,
What,
and you
yeah.
Talk someone through all the things that need to be done, and have a bit of crack with them. It's been an experience.
Yeah, I can imagine. Do you feel you connect with? You understand more about people?
100%, 100%. Yeah, just because there's just such a wide variety of ones that are calling in every day, and the sort of the most awkward ones are. I remember people complaining, calling in to complain about a pound, an extra pound in their account, which I completely understand. But then there's
They're complaining about an extra pound.
Yeah, overcharging by a pound.
I thought
in a stock £1 figure or £1 monthly.
Yeah.
No, I had one that was 30p over what they should have paid, and that lasted I think the guts of an hour and 20 minutes.
On the phone
Get
with
a
him.
Freddo with that.
Yeah,
It's true.
not anymore. Freddo's are about
Inflation's-
£6 now.
Make Freddo's great.
So yeah, make
Satire.
Yeah.
See, the show does have some sort of structure.
It does.
It all links together.
It does.
It gives the illusion of not linking together, but it
Make the
always will.
structure of this show great again.
That's another fair comment.
That's another fair comment. Hurtful,
Hurtful nonetheless,
fair,
but
but fair.
we'll persevere. We'll persevere. You're
Right.
saying you want to go into another song? Yeah, because actually we need to play some playlist stuff. It's not Christmas yet, Alfie.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, back.
Yeah, back into the fray.
conversation.
Back into the fray. No, we were just discussing over the break an interesting thing about the. I already feel like an old radio guy.
Yeah.
Because we were just reminiscing about back in the early seasons how.
When we were funny.
No, I think the show is definitely better now, but it's the way that back early on we used to have so much anecdotes, so much energy. And so
Energy.
much-
It was
yeah.
the energy.
But it's when you
And-
run out of anecdotes with like a person, it's the same thing. Do you know what I mean? When unless you guys become really good friends, by the end of all your anecdotes, you just hate each other.
Yeah, it's true. Because the amount of times I just hear the same anecdotes over and over again.
Endlessly.
Sort of in between Belfast and Dublin.
Yeah, exactly. No, but there's just like our lives now have set like we do either yam work, essays,
Socialise.
socialise,
Go out, party.
party hard,
Party.
and we don't remember any of that.
No chance.
Alcohol. I have a problem. A real
It's an issue.
Do you think they
Real-
liked it when we
a
made
real
sounds
issue.
like that?
I think they do.
Yeah,
and I
they-
think we should provide more of that kind of
Yeah.
content. Because as we're saying, we've lost this kind of ability to find funny observations.
No.
Or
Just
funny
going to
anecdotes.
sort of funny signs
Did you
then?
see the same
I
thing?
think it's
Just
the
essays
new.
and yam.
I think it's the new design of the Raw studio.
I was about to say that. It
Yeah.
is. I love the
quite
design.
nice.
It's
It's
really,
really
it's
quite
very
nice.
professional. I
Yeah.
like the new setup, but in here, it's lost that baby blue. That just
That sweet
reinvigorated
baby blue.
you
That
in
lovely-
the studio. It's just a bit. It's a bit dark now. I like that we've got an earlier show now because when on our 5 till 6, it was just depressing when it
Yeah.
got dark and we were sitting
Yeah.
in here talking about.
I
our
don't
lunches.
like it.
I just remembered something depressing that happened to me, but it's also sort of funny. Do you want to hear?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I went to go and see Death Grips in Belfast like 4 or 5 weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
And I went on my own, which already is just recipe for. I was like, I'll make loads of friends. No. So I was in the queue. Doors open at 7. Doors open at 7. I get talking to this guy in front of me in the queue, and we just get on like on every level, into the same music, into the same films,
Yeah.
similar politically, which
Yeah.
is big. Like
Big.
what else? Like just the conversation.
So he's a communist meme Pokemon player, basically.
Well, you talking to the mirror?
More surface level stuff. More surface level stuff. But anyway, so we get inside and we're both just back from uni, right? We're both like experiencing the sort of like lull in your life when you just graduate and you're in this sort of weird limbo state where
Yeah.
there's no hope at the end, but you have to hold out for that hope, and
No hope.
it seems inescapable, but the only thing you can do is escape. But so I'm talking to him ages, and then I go to him in the queue.
Can we carry on?
Please stop.
Yeah, this
guys.
is very unhelpful.
But yeah, Jesus. God. I go to him in the queue. Oh, I'll add you on Facebook, because I was like, oh, we'll hang out in the future. And he's like, oh, I don't have Facebook. And then it was his turn. To offer his number, which he didn't do. So I just didn't feel to ask. And then
Yeah.
we resumed conversation, and it was friendly, and it was great, and it was lovely. I was just like, someone so similar who understands my experience.
Nah, it sounds like you thought it was friendly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can imagine
Because
it's
that's
just
not- that's an
Michael
obvious
talking.
pie.
Yeah.
Was that the guy that we sent the money to? Yeah.
Yes, it was. It was the guy. Who was
Right.
Do you
Imagine, like, I've been like feeding back to all like my grim news from Northern Ireland. You're like, we'll pay somebody to like plant themselves in the queue
Bit of the show.
and befriend you.
Okay. all
Stop
right.
talking.
Hey, you know what I?
Wait, hold on.
Uh,
A few plugs.
Oh yeah.
Is that an alarm or a donkey fart? Huh? Guys, do you like that? Did
You
you
be the
like
judge.
that?
Why is? Okay.
So,
let's get
what
plugs.
plugs?
I've got a stand-up show that I'm hosting in Kelsey's at Leamington at 8. Comedy.
Comedy.
Boots and Cats tonight at the Zephyr Lounge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll
Come
be
down,
there.
have a
So if
party
you want
there.
to come and meet your heroes,
Your heroes,
we'll
you
be
know.
doing a
And
cool.
if you've missed
meet
me,
and greet afterwards.
We'll be doing a cool and go and meet and
and
greet
greet.
at Boots and Cats.
we have
we should actually do that.
there is a pre-flood yam video out
Yep.
called "See You in Peru" by Sophie Elizabeth, a music
See
video.
You in
that
who?
we- See You in Peru.
See you in who?
No,
It's Peru. That's my job.
check that out. It's already
guapping. It's hitting
guapping,
views.
mate. It's
Well,
already
you're
on
like
the case.
2000
It's hitting views, my
Yeah.
friend. Right, we're running over.
0.1p.
Let's do this.
Of you.
I like them Macedonian girls. I like them Armenian girls. I like them Mexican girls. I like them.
Epsilon girls.